You're going to do it about 20,000 times today, and you probably won't think about it once. Breathing. It's the most basic thing keeping us alive. But what if you did think about it? What if you realized that by simply changing how you breathe, you could upgrade your entire body's operating system? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to dig into.
I mean, it's the classic advice, right? Someone's freaking out, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed. And what does everyone say? Just take a deep breath. We hear it so often, it almost becomes background noise.
But have you ever really stopped to think about what's going on under the hood? Why does that even work? What is the actual biological chain reaction that one single intentional breath kicks off? Turns out it's way more incredible than you might think. So let's pull back the curtain.
To really get this, we've got to start by meeting the main character in this whole story, the powerhouse muscle that's supposed to be doing all the heavy lifting. Everybody, meet your diaphragm. This thing is a total rock star. It's this big, dome-shaped muscle sitting right under your lungs, and when you breathe the way you were designed to, it's doing about 80% of the work. It contracts, it pulls down, and it sucks air deep into the best, most efficient parts of your lungs. This isn't just some random muscle, it's the engine for your breath. And you can really see the difference here between the two ways we can breathe. On one side, you've got that diaphragmatic or belly breathing. That's the gold standard. It's super efficient, it's relaxed, and it literally tells your nervous system to chill out. But because of stress, bad posture, you name it, a lot of us end up on the other side, chest breathing. Think of this as the emergency backup system. It uses all these little muscles in your neck and shoulders, it creates a ton of tension, and it's directly wired to your body's fight or flight panic button. Mark Courtney from the American Lung Association had this perfect analogy for what happens when we're stuck in that inefficient chest breathing mode. See, when we don't use the diaphragm to get a full exhale, old, stale air gets trapped down in the bottom of our lungs. And that means there's less room for fresh, oxygen-rich air to get in, which makes our body work way, way harder for less reward. Okay, so what happens when we flip the switch? What are the actual perks of getting back to using our diaphragm properly? Well, it's not just about your lungs. We're talking about a full-body system upgrade. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This stuff is measurable. Check out the data from this 12-week study. Just by practicing deep breathing exercises, people saw their lung function get better across the board. Their FVC, that's the total amount of air they can breathe out, went up. Their FEV1, a measure of how powerfully they can exhale, also went way up. These aren't just numbers on a chart. This is a real, tangible boost in lung power. And from there, the benefits just ripple outwards, starting with your nervous system. That deep belly breathing physically stimulates something called the vagus nerve. Think of it as the main communication line for your body's rest and digest system. It's the brake pedal for your stress response. It tells your brain, hey, everything's cool, we're safe. And it even improves your heart rate variability, which is a key sign of a healthy, resilient nervous system. And, of course, that calming effect goes straight to your heart. Slow, controlled breathing is proven to lower your blood pressure and your resting heart rate. Plus, the physical up and down movement of the diaphragm actually helps pump blood back to the heart, improving your entire circulation and making sure your body has that perfect balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, now here is one that blows most people's minds. You know your lymphatic system, the one that clears out toxins and is crucial for your immune system? Well, unlike your blood, it doesn't have a pump. It relies on you moving around. But guess what? That deep, rhythmic movement of your diaphragm acts like a powerful internal pump, giving your organs an internal massage and pushing all that waste through your system to be cleaned out. It is your body's own built-in detox button. So at this point, you're probably thinking, great, I'll just breathe as deep as I can all the time. But not so fast. This is where the story gets really interesting and kind of flips everything we think we know on its head. Because, yeah, you heard me. Taking a deep breath, especially when you're panicking, can actually make things worse. It turns out that how you define deep is absolutely crucial. It's not about how much air you can gasp in. It's about balance. The danger is a state called hypocapnia. See, we're all taught that carbon dioxide is just a waste product, something to get rid of. But that's not the whole story, not even close. When we overbreathe, either by breathing too fast or taking these huge gulping breaths, we blow off way too much CO2, and our body's chemistry gets thrown completely out of whack. And the reason why is something called the Bohr effect. Here's the best way to think about it. Imagine your red blood cells are little delivery trucks packed full of oxygen. Well, carbon dioxide is the delivery guy with the key. CO2 is what tells the red blood cells, okay, we're at the muscle, we're at the brain, drop off the oxygen here. Without enough CO2, the oxygen stays locked onto those blood cells. It's driving right past the houses that need it, but it can't make the delivery. This creates a totally vicious cycle. You feel anxious, so you start taking massive breaths. That blows off all your CO2. Now, because of the Bohr effect, the oxygen you're breathing in can't get to your tissues, so your brain and muscles start screaming for oxygen, which gives you that feeling of air hunger and dizziness, which makes you want to breathe even more. You end up suffocating from a lack of carbon dioxide, not a lack of oxygen. Isn't that wild? So the real goal isn't just to breathe deep. The goal is to breathe correctly, slowly, lightly, and efficiently. So let's talk about how to actually do that. This is the absolute foundation. And you can honestly do it anywhere. Just lie on your back, bend your knees. Put one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, right over your navel. Now breathe in slowly through your nose, and the whole goal is for the hand on your chest to stay pretty much still while the hand on your belly rises up. Then just a long, slow exhale as your belly falls. That's it. You're retraining your body to use its primary breathing engine again. Now, if you're looking for a target, a magic number, the research points over and over again to this: 6 breaths per minute. That's a 10-second cycle. Maybe you breathe in for 4 seconds and out for 6. That slow, gentle rhythm seems to be the sweet spot for getting your whole system in sync and maximizing all those benefits we talked about. It's about being slow, not forceful. So the next time someone tells you to take a deep breath, you'll actually know what that means. It's not about taking in a huge volume of air. It's about taking slow, calm, conscious control. You literally have a remote control for your own nervous system right under your nose. The only question is, are you going to pick it up and use it?